Shields up, Ironbreakers. We're kind of here coming at you with another edition of the Cons Cast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Iceborne because, as you can imagine, we once again have two new videos from the Capcom Japanese channel. This time around, it is going to be about the Bow and the Insect Glaive. Once again, special shout out to Duke Lukewarm over there on Reddit for translating a lot of the relevant information we'll be discussing in this video from Japanese websites. Let's begin with the Bow. Okay, so the Bow, they start the video off by showing us a couple of charged attacks followed up by this, which we have to take another look at. That is a new attack. We're going to be going at it frame by frame. You guys can see he loads up the claw into the Bow with the slinger ammunition, and then he aims and puts an arrow in there for good measure. Pa-pow! And that right there is called the 1,000 Dragons, which, to be honest, when I heard that name, I was expecting something out of Overwatch from Hanzo. I was going to just wait for your character to go like... and just like freaking dragons would fly off. But no, it's basically you load all of your slinger ammunition into your bow, you fire that off, and that is going to deal a lot of damage. It is, however, a short range attack, unlike, for instance, the Dragon Piercer. Let's take a look at a couple of more things in the video. First thing they show you is that you can fire single shots with the bow. They haven't really showed a slinger burst in this video, so we don't know if that is a possibility. One of the things that they say in the Japanese websites is that you can switch your aim mode. So you can switch from aiming your slinger into aiming with your bow, and then going off to fire your bow, or swap right back into firing with your slinger. That right there is the Dragon Piercer. That is not a new attack. Then we get to see the Clutch Claw attack, which actually has a really sweet animation in my opinion. This is some Legolas type shit right here. Let's look at the full animation just one more time. Look at that. He clutches onto it, slashes in the face, slashes again. I think that might actually be a charged attack because your character... Well, notice that your character is going to glow red there. Yeah, that definitely looks like a charged attack. Or maybe I'm wrong, but that's the feeling that I get when watching that. Then he powers up the shot, shoots it, and then here we get to see 1,000 Dragons. You see him loading it up. Bam! It's going to be more of a shot that's going to feel more like the spread shot, I feel like. It's going to be a short range blast that you're going to want to do. I think the critical range is going to be significantly short. They even say that in the websites. It's like a short range but very powerful attack that can be used while aiming your slinger. Will consume all of your equipped slinger ammo. If you do not have any ammo, the move's power drops. But that's pretty much it for the bow. Not really a whole lot of stuff. So you get to swap while aiming with the bow or aiming with your slinger. And if while you're aiming with your slinger you perform a special attack, you get the 1,000 Dragons move. But then again, the bow already has a pretty extensive moveset. It's already pretty damn powerful. So, you know, maybe it doesn't need anything else. Or maybe they're saving some juicier stuff for future reveals. Who knows? Either way, let's move on into the Insect Glaive. Okay, so the Insect Glaive, that's quite a bit to break down. So they start us off right with a banger, which is the new Kinsect boost functionality. I'm not sure if you guys got that. Let's take a look at it. and slower again, but you can see that he's spinning the glaive around and the Kinsect is like all happy and getting all buffed up. Now, the important thing about this particular move is that it is going to vary depending on what you use to buff up your Kinsect. So the way that this works is you're going to be using Slinger ammo to strengthen your Kinsect, and while your Kinsect is boosted, he is going to collect up to 2 extracts, as you will see further in the video. The effect time of gathered extracts is going to be extended, and to top it off, depending on the type of Slinger ammunition that you put on your Kinsect, it is going to change the type of boosts that your Kinsect is going to get, because it's not only going to boost your own buffs that he is collecting, it is also going to boost the Kinsect itself. So if you pick up Slinger ammo from the monster and you feed that to the Kinsect, you are going to basically increase its attack power, and also his Kinsect dust clouds are going to be generated more frequently, which is pretty damn sweet if you really want to go balls out on offense with your Kinsect. However, if you feed it, Slinger ammo that you find out in the field, instead your Kinsect's maximum stamina is going to be increased and your triple boost's effect time is going to be extended. So ideally, in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to feed it the field stuff while you're gathering your buffs. After you're done gathering your buffs, you want to buff it with the monster's ammunition. So potentially like do a clutch claw attack or something, get the ammunition out of it, and then put it into the Kinsect. And after you do that, then you send your Kinsect at the monster and you just go wild. And I think that that is going to be pretty damn sweet. It gives you a little bit more complexity as to how you collect your buffs, but it also gives you more offenses to more offense potential to your Kinsect, which is something that I personally really like. Then they just show us a couple of regular attacks there. And from there, they're going to show us that you can shoot single shots with the Insect Glaive. Again, they do not show us Slinger Burst with the Insect Glaive. I don't know if the Insect Glaive is going to be able to do Slinger Burst or not. They're going to sharpen up to show, oh, this is just something we did for utility. Now you get to see the Clutch Claw attack. Clutch Claw attack on the Insect Glaive looks really good. And it also looks very powerful because you're going to be able to hit multiple body parts of the monster, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. It's like if you're trying to break a specific part, you know that your attacks are not always going to be focused on that particular part. Whereas unlike, for instance, with the Greatsword, you can really focus down on a part and like bust it down when you go into Clutch Claw. With the Insect Glaive, you're spreading your damage all over the monster. So just keep that in mind. I mean, depending on the monster type. This is the Paolumu, you were hitting it in the wings and stuff. But it is kind of cool, particularly if you happen to be fighting 2 monsters. Maybe you'll even be able to hit both of them. So, it's a little bit of diversity there. And then here, what you see is that you can do the Clutch Claw from the air. You can basically perform Clutch Claw attacks from the air, kind of like, I think, the same concept as the Sword and Shield. If you guys remember, it has that attack where it goes up into the air and then it clutches onto the monster using the Clutch Claw. You can do that from the air with the Insect Glaive, which is pretty cool. And then he used not the Slinger Burst, because I know you guys are going to say, that was the Slinger Burst. No, that's the flinch shot or clink shot. I keep forgetting the name of that particular shot. But that's the shot that, sends the monster off into a wall or brings him into the ground. But that also means that the Insect Glaive is going to be extremely adept at bringing monsters down. So Sword and Shield and Insect Glaive really have sweet aerial game in Iceborne, which I like. Which already is the case in regular Monster Hunter World. It's just, it's further emphasized by the potential of the Clutch Claw. Now here they are showing you the Kinsect boost that I was talking about. You'll see he's doing the animation where he is buffing the Kinsect spinning all around while he is spinning the glaive. And I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe that the boost he gave the Kinsect is stamina, because I would imagine, like, if you're giving the other boost, the force, I would imagine that particular buff to potentially be red, because you can see that this particular, the color of this buff is even reflected on the stamina gauge itself. So it would just make sense, just the way that the UI is displaying it, that this would be the stamina buff. So what that means is that when for starters, he's able to collect 2 additional extracts, and when he returns and you get your triple buff, you're going to have the duration of your triple buff extended because he is using the stamina buff. You'll see him now send off the Kinsect to collect 2. You can see right there, that's slot number 1. He got it with the red buff. Now he's going to go for the white buff without returning the Kinsect. I think I'm actually going to struggle a bit with this because I've never been very good at making the Kinsect go to different spots after you launch it. Usually what I do is just like launch it, bring it back, launch it again, bring it back. But you can make the Kinsect fly all over the place, particularly with this buff, because, it's going to extend the Kinsect stamina. Anyway, I'm going to return the Kinsect, Boom, that is triple buff, probably with duration extended. And then finally, they finished the video off by showing us the Assault Thrust. So this is a piercing downward attack that you can do from the air, which has a very particular thing that it does. I'm actually going to try to slow that one down. Bam, and after hitting the monster, he does another attack, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed that. Let me try to freeze it at the right spot. Bam! You see that right there? That is the pheromone. For those of you that are familiar with Insect Glaive, this should be a familiar mechanic to you. If when your Insect Glaive is out, you press, I believe it's R2, he spins it around, pops a pheromone into the monster, and that makes it so that the Insect, when you launch it, will attack that specific spot. Or even if the insect that's already attacking the monster, we will focus on the pheromone spot. And if you do this attack with the insect on your arm, you'll notice that the insect is going to come out, and it will start instantly attacking that particular spot. Not sure if we can see. There's the insect. Zoom! He's going to go focus on that spot that we just marked. But yeah, that's the whole point of that particular attack. So yeah, the Insect Glaive is getting a couple of new, very interesting mechanics which focus on the insect itself, which I kind of like, because back in 4 Ultimate, one of the things that I wanted to do was to do a build around the insect dealing as much damage as possible. I never got around to doing it because I'm a slacker, but I'm definitely going to be doing one of those in Iceborne because it just seems like it's fun. I hope there's some skills to further enhance the insect, or potentially just like all companions, and those buffs could potentially count for the insect. I think that'd be cool, because I do want to do a build around really micromanaging the insect. Either way, you guys let me know if you guys are playing Insect Glaives, how do you feel about that stuff? But that is pretty much it for the bow and the Insect Glaive. Let me know what you guys think about these new additions to the weapons in the comment section down below. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit it up with a like. If you guys are new here, if you enjoy my content, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, stay strong, and may your shields never break.